Hello everybody and welcome to this video. So first and foremost, let me just get this out there. I'm not affiliated with Tailwind. I'm not endorsed by Tailwind. I have applied twice to be an ambassador for Tailwind and haven't been successful with that. So this video is simply me being genuine and me sharing my thoughts about a product that I do love. And obviously Tailwind, if you are watching, yes, I will take a couple of freebies. I've got the hat. I do have the t-shirt already, but of course, joking aside, I want to just share with you the reason why I do actually love this product and why I've used it now for over 2 years. So Tailwind in itself is a powder product, and you mix it with water and it has all the electrolytes and the carbs, all that good stuff that you need to maintain your running, and without the need for additional supplements, gels, so on and so forth. So Tailwind and I sort of came together a few years ago when I was training for a marathon, and I knew that I needed to make sure that I was drinking enough fluid. And at the time I was still exploring different gels, and I really struggled to find a gel that would suit me. And it's difficult when that happens because you know that the typical rule is that you're going to have X amount of gels throughout your run, and that's going to see you through. And at the time it was a marathon I was training for. I knew that I was able to take on board the water, but I was really struggling with the gels. So Tailwind came up. I don't even know how that kind of came into my world as such. It possibly was a video or some sort of promotion that sort of came my way thanks to advertising on the internet nowadays. And I bought Tailwind. The first thing I did was bought a trial pack, and I'll just do a little kind of flash on the screen. If you go to obviously their website, and I'll put the links down below, you can get trial packs, you can get individual sachets, sticks that I'll show you in a moment, and you can get the bigger bags. The bigger bags are there for you to scoop out the amount that you need. And again, I'll talk about that some more in a moment. And so I bought the trial pack. I started to explore different flavours. I found a couple of flavours I liked at the time. It was a Raspberry Buzz, absolutely addicted to the stuff. And so I planned to run a marathon, my first marathon, with 2 water bottles, 500 ml of water, and actually I put, I think, about a sachet and a half into each one. And yeah, throughout the race I used that. I think I had 1 or 2 gels as kind of a backup and that sort of safety net, but in itself, Tailwind was the primary source of energy and what I needed to sustain myself throughout the marathon. Roll on to the second marathon, and I was using Tailwind once again. I've always decided to take a gel or 2 with me just because, again, I like that as the safety net. I don't necessarily feel that it is a requirement for me to be able to get through the run with them, but I've now found a gel that I quite like, so it's pretty tasty. It gives me a little sort of kind of personal boost, so that's why I carry the gels. But once again, Tailwind for me is that it's a primary source and what I use on my runs. The interesting thing I find about Tailwind is that with their a range of flavours, there's definitely something to suit everybody. But I've found, and it's actually thanks to running with Mark, I think, who shared this with me, he had suggested actually instead of taking a particular flavour, especially on the ultras, which I've been training for, you do kind of get sick of them. So what I've actually started doing, and these are my 2 kind of flavour choices now that I use the Naked Tailwind Fuel, so it still has exactly the same content as you would expect from the other flavours, but the taste in itself is not super sweet and you can stomach it for a lot longer. The other flavour that I have is the Tailwind, and this is the caffeinated, oh, that's good, isn't it? We'll leave it in. This is the caffeinated Buzz, so it gives you that little extra caffeine boost. Some of the flavours are caffeinated, some are not, and you can choose depending on what you like. One of the newer flavours that came out towards the end of last year was the Colorado Cola, and that tasted to me like kind of a Mr. Freeze pop, the old school kind of cola taste. You know it's not quite the Coca-Cola that you remember, but it's just something about it just brings back these amazing memories. A flavour that I definitely would enjoy periodically, but not something I would take with me on an ultra. In some respects, I've actually toyed with the idea that actually for my ultra, I would buy the trial pack of the 7 flavours or so, and then throughout the day, I could just kind of pick and choose, mix and match, and whatever I get, I get. I know some people have combined the flavours as well, which is kind of exciting. So I use those 2 for my ultra runs. And more recently, I did a marathon distance. I used Tailwind throughout the day, and I think I used 1 gel. Again, just popped a gel just kind of to make sure I was able to sustain myself, but other than that, Tailwind was fueling me throughout the day. When I get back from a run and a hard effort, I use the Rebuild and Recovery. Two flavours, got vanilla and chocolate. I'm not really a big kind of chocolate flavour type person, so vanilla it is for me. I know some people mix this with water. I actually prefer to put it into a smoothie, and in that smoothie I can put all the things that I need, like anti-inflammatory type kind of fruits, veg, whatever suits you. But I like to mix in a smoothie, and again, what I'm showing you here, the sachet forms. So these sachets are created so that you pour one sachet per kind of 500 ml of water, and it's seen as one portion. If you buy the bag, you are provided with a scoop. I just found the bag a little bit more kind of fussy, whereas for me I like to just stow these away, and then whenever I get to somewhere I can do some kind of refueling, I can just grab a bottle of water, chuck it in there, put it into my flasks, and off and running I go. So Tailwind has been really just super substantial in me being able to do what I'm doing. I've never had any issues, any stomach issues at all, which I think tends to be the reason why people would drop out of races, especially the longer distances, because the stomach just can't handle it. And you know, I've had days where the stomach's not quite been right, but it's certainly not down to Tailwind, it's down to prep. And speaking of prep, what I also like to do the day before a long run is that I will have Tailwind in a bottle, litre bottle or so, and I will just sip it throughout the day just to kind of get things going and just to kind of get the body ready. My strategy for how I take Tailwind on my run, and everyone's different, so please just kind of hear me out on what I do. You can do whatever works for you, is that every kilometre I just take a sip of Tailwind. That's all I do, and I just keep that going throughout my run, and normally that works as well, absolutely fine. It's something that I've always done. I'm quite happy just to keep things topped up with every kilometre, a sip or two, and yeah, and away I go. I wanted to share this video with you so that if you were even slightly interested, intrigued, inclined towards Tailwind, buy the trial pack, give it a go, find a flavour you like. You do not need to use any gels. There are ultra runners who are doing huge distances, whilst they may have some real food as well, kind of to keep them sustained throughout their run. Tailwind is the primary source, and they do phenomenal things at phenomenal paces. But buy the trial pack, see what you like. I would recommend buying a recovery one as well, again, just to explore that for yourself. If you do happen to buy from Tailwind direct, that's awesome. They give you little handwritten notes, which are always really nice. You can buy them from other channels as well. Obviously, it's up to you, personal preference. If you do happen to buy Tailwind, please feel free to let them know that I sent you. I really appreciate that. Like I said at the start of the video, not affiliated, not getting any money from it, nothing like that. I failed ambassador twice now, so no hard feelings there, guys. But yeah, I just love the stuff, and I wanted to put this video together to just share my love of it with you, and hopefully you get some value from it. If you already use Tailwind, let me know in the comments down below, and if you're yet to try it, let me know afterwards. Thank you so much for checking out the video, and I will see you soon.